Hey all, this is Roger from In the Dark Paranormal. We all know the controversy surrounding the bordello and charging people, to investigate everywhere. Uh, I'm right now. I have a Anglin Stroud with me from Absolute Paranormal, and I'm going to ask him some questions, and we're going to do a little ghost hunt up here in a little while. So, Anglin, welcome.
Hey,
Okay, my first question to you is, your thoughts on the bordello? What are your thoughts on the bordello?
well, whenever I was in your group and you investigated, I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, it wasn't expensive. It wasn't like very popular. I mean, everybody thought it was haunted, but like no one really knew for sure. But I just think like it was a pretty great place, and I mean, they ran it pretty well, and I thought it was okay. But I just don't like the pricing they have on it now. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, they have fixed it up, but I mean, the pricing is just too high. I mean, $500 to stay like one night. I mean, that's stupid. I mean,
That's my mortgage payment, man. That is
yeah,
that's my mortgage payment. And if I gave them my mortgage payment, then the mortgage company would be calling me saying, "Hey, where's your money? Where's the money?" You know what I mean?
yeah. I
So,
mean, I can go here in town and rent an apartment for less than that. I mean, that's an apartment I can stay in for the rest of my life and still not spend as much as just one day being in the bordello. I mean, I like Russell and I like Larry and I think they're really good people, but I just think the people who are also running it now, I just think they're expecting way too much money. I
well,
mean,
yeah. Well, my thoughts on that is, I'm friends with Russell again. Me and Larry still aren't talking. You know that because
yeah,
I don't know what I did to the man, but uh, my thoughts are that I would rather have Russell running that thing than the Kling brothers because they're outsiders. They don't know the town history. Uh, they don't know what it took for all the teams that were involved with it to. I mean, they just don't know what it took for all the teams that were involved in it. You know, all the hard work that people put into it and everything like that. But anyway, enough about that. Uh, how you like investigating with Josh Shackles?
I love Absolute Paranormal. I mean, they have became like my family. I talk to Johnny and Josh a lot. I mean, I talk to Bruce and whenever I can. I mean, I just love them all. I mean, they're amazing. They're really great people.
Yeah, I investigated with them at the Olivia. They're pretty good people.
I
They're
mean,
they're laid back, straight from the cuff. You know, kind of like me and my team. And I like Josh a lot too. So
yeah, like I just like they've become like family to me. I mean, I know I try as hard as I can to make to a lot of the investigations and stuff, but I mean I have also live in Kansas and most of them live in Missouri, so it's kind of hard. But I mean I try going to as much as I can. Right now gas and stuff is just
yeah.
killing me, so I
Well,
don't really have a car and stuff
yeah,
to do the lot.
yeah. Well, that night that I went there with Kira, nobody told me where I was going because it was like when she was leaving for Vegas, and it was kind of our last hurrah investigation together, you know.
Hmm.
And she supposedly wanted it to be a surprise. Well, if I'd have known that it was going to be with Josh and them, and that you needed a ride, I'd have came and got you and
Yeah,
took you over there.
I'm kind of glad because I mean what they told me was Lisa and them kind of ripped them all off with the whole like money
Yeah,
thing. But I mean I've investigated Lisa. I mean I think she's really cool. I'm not like bagging on PSL, but like I mean the whole thing with them like adding more money to that. I mean seriously like honestly, this is how I think of it. Ghost hunting is more of a hobby than a career. I mean,
Exactly.
seriously, why would you want to spend money on ghost hunting whenever I can sit there, get a DVD, like I can get like a camcorder, go out and go to a local spot that isn't like that doesn't have to pay money, like a cemetery or a battlefield around here. I mean, you can go to Carthage Battlefield and not even spend a single bit of money out there. But going to the Olivia apartment, which I mean, I thought was a pretty cool place, but I really I didn't have experience myself there.
Yeah, the building is a historic building, and I think it's being mismanaged. And I think that any historical building like that should be open to the public for stuff like that. I mean, and not, I mean, maybe charge like $10 a person or something, you know, like that to go in and tour it and investigate it. But yeah, 300 places like the Olivia, $300 for an overnight investigation. The Kendrick House, I don't know how much they charge for that. And then there's Prosperity Bed and Breakfast. I know that it's a lot of money to stay there.
Yeah.
But what some people don't understand is, like, okay, I'm going to use this house as an example. Villisca the Axe Murder House in Iowa, Villisca, Iowa. They charge $400 a night per team. That history is proven. That history is documented. That somebody murdered them people in that house. That history is documented. Which a lot of people say, well, I would pay to go in there because it's a proven, documented case. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The Murder Bordello, there's so much controversy going on with it that I mean, for them to say, well, you got to pay $500 to come in here, but it's not a proven history. There's too much controversy. At first, you know, the Steffelbecks owned it.
Yeah.
And which we found out later wasn't true. They traced all the paperwork back to 1890, and the Steffelbeck's name was not on the paperwork whatsoever. Now it's more or less thinking that the mining company owned it. That is a proven fact. The mining company owned it, and they actually built that to be a bordello for their workers, somewhere where they could go and unwind, get laid if they wanted to, drink beer, gamble. But you know, my thoughts on that are, if you're going to pay for something, make sure, like one of my friends from a local team here says, if I'm going to pay $500 or $400 or anything like that, there better be fucking demons jumping out of the wall at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We never charged anybody to investigate anywhere. I've done a lot of residential hunts.
Yeah.
And the people are more than welcome to let us come into their homes. And not even think twice about it. Not even say, hey, well, if you want to come in here and hunt ghosts, you're gonna have to give me $100. You know, it would be like that kind of thing, that kind of deal. The pricing on everything around here is just freaking unreal, and I don't like it. I never have. I don't pay. You know me. I'm not going to pay nothing. I'm not going to pay nobody to let me go into their house or anything like that. So back to Josh and Absolute Paranormal. Have you guys got anything lined up that you're going to be doing here anytime soon? Or
I haven't been able to make it to any of the like meetings. We have one every Sunday, like except for the day after investigations. That Sunday afterwards, we don't normally have that. It's normally just a chill day that we just decide just not to do anything. But honestly, right now, I think we're pretty much open for anything. I mean, like, for anybody out here that's watching this, I mean, just talk to Josh Shackles. You can hit him up on Facebook or something. I mean, we need some investigations going, and I think Josh is trying to get some going, but we're just kind of struggling a little bit. But we're a new team, and you can find us at on Facebook at absoluteparanormal.com or Facebook at Absolute Paranormal on the page. And we're a pretty great team. We have a pretty good amount of people, but we just I mean, I've talked to Josh, and he says he hasn't had anything lined up like right now. This book's solid, just kind of like a hit and miss. If we can do it, we can do it. If we can't, we
Well,
can't.
Josh does a lot of historical stuff too over there, and he does a lot of extra
Yeah,
extracurricular stuff. I know he DJs parties, so if you need a party DJ, call Josh Shackles. He'll do it for you. Right?
yeah,
Uh, Me myself, I've been doing this almost 4 years, and that's why I'm deciding. I'm doing this for a while. Yeah, and if I go out and I investigate anywhere, it's going to be, with my team, unless they absolutely nobody else can come. Then maybe I'll go out with another team and investigate or something. Uh, Me when I first started, I didn't really like the fact that my investigators were going and investigating with other teams. But the longer that you do this, uh,
the more you start
the more you start
realizing.
realizing, your people can learn a lot from other teams
Yeah,
and
and get better.
other investigations, and it's just going to make them better. So now I really don't care if any of my investigators want to go ghost hunting with somebody, and I'm not available to go learn, do what you need to do. But I'm getting burnt out. That's why I'm not investigating right now, and that's why I decided to do this little internet interview show and get people on here, get their thoughts on the bordello and all and the just happenings, everyday happenings in the field, and we're gonna do a little ghost hunt here in a little bit. Me and Anglin, we're gonna try to get a hold of Mark, my ghost here, and then like I said, I'm gonna be putting together a little piece about my house and the history of my house. I'm gonna have interviews with my neighbors, see what they can tell me about the house. I'm still tripping out over this British family that supposedly lived here, and because it trips me out when I heard it. Excuse me, because on one of the investigations that I did here, we got a little girl on tape, and she had a British accent. She said hello to us, and it was like hello. They talk.
Yeah,
And it still trips me out because I didn't know anything about that family until after we did that hunt, and then I had a couple of my neighbors that had been in the neighborhood for a while tell me that there was a British family that lived here, and they had a flue fire or some kind of fire, and the top half of the house or something caught on fire,
yeah.
and one of the kids, I don't know whether it was a girl or a boy, died in the fire from smoke inhalation or burned up in it or something. I don't know, but it's pretty trippy. My house is trippy, and one more question for you. Okay, when you're investigating and you're asking questions, I mean, well, let me put the to you this way: do you consider yourself a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator? To me, I don't think there's much of a difference, but
But paranormal investigator just sounds more like, I don't know.
paranormal investigator to me sounds like it's more professional type,
Yeah,
right? And ghost hunter means, I mean, it's basically the same thing. Ghost hunters, paranormal investigators. For example, show on Travel Channel, Dead Files. I'm not going to mention no names. The psychic on that show, I mean, I've watched that show and I don't believe it. I do not believe it. She says that ghost hunting brings out the worst in people, brings out the worst in spirits, and brings out the worst in everything. And I just don't believe that. I mean, I've been on several investigations, hunts, whatever you want to call them, and I've never once, except for one time actually, one time in the bordello, I felt very uneasy up in the attic. It felt like somebody was trying to take me over, and that's the only time I ever felt like that. 2 weeks later, by the way, I had a massive heart attack and almost died. So I don't know if they were trying to tell me something or if they were just trying to be mean to me or what they were trying to do. But these people saying that ghost hunting and paranormal investigating opens doorways to other dimensions and that's a Ouija board type shit.
Yeah, that just sounds really stupid. I mean, all ghost hunting is trying to prove a fact that like they really are here. Like,
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm not the biggest Christian in the world. I have my doubts and my beliefs and stuff like that. But I also kind of believe that, like, there might not be such thing as hell. That Earth is hell, because everybody says, oh, like Earth is like hell to everybody because of all this.
Or they post on Facebook, hey, my life is a living hell.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that could also be true. Yeah. I mean, like, who knows? I mean, there might have not been an actual place that God really put, like, Satan. I mean, honestly, sometimes I have my disbeliefs on Christianity, but I'm not going to go and, like, doubt it, but I'm not going to go and, like, say it is all true, because, I mean, some of the stuff in the Bible that you hear kind of sounds fake.
Yeah.
And plus, man did make the Bible, if you actually read it. Moses is the one who wrote the Bible himself. I mean, he just said God told him or spoke the words to him and wrote them down. I mean, but who knows?
Everybody has their own beliefs when it comes to the Bible.
Yeah.
Some of the paranormal investigators I know are atheists. They don't believe in heaven and hell and the Bible and everything like that. But a little bit of my dad died when I was very young, 10 months old. I never knew him. We grew up Catholic. Most of my family grew up Catholic, and they believed in the Mary, Mother of God stuff. And after my dad passed away, my mom broke us away from that, and I was raised a Lutheran after that. But it just I don't press my ghost hunting on people. And when people start using demonology and all that stuff and bringing it into the paranormal field, and if you stop and think about it, it's mostly Catholic priests, psychics, stuff like that are doing it. I've had preachers' kids. I've had preachers tell me, "You better be careful what you wish for, because it might just happen to you. It might, And they start talking about demons and all that stuff. And I don't know what I believe. I don't know if I believe in demons or if I believe in life after death. That's what we're all after, right? Mm-hmm. As paranormal investigators, as ghost hunters, we want to know. We're always out there trying to find out answers to everything, and and as far as there's a team in Springfield. They deal with demonology. They think everything's demons, and that everything that paranormal investigators do, they call something haunted or paranormal because they want it so bad they want something to be paranormal so bad, so they make it up. And I mean, people like that I have no use for. Everybody has to make their own determination, am I right? Yeah. About ghost hunting, and they have to have there's people in this field that have all kinds of beliefs. There's atheists, there's Christians, there's people that don't, skeptics. They don't believe that paranormal activity is real.
Half paranormal investigators are skeptics, and that's the reason why they go out there and do the stuff they do, because they want to try and see if they can be proven wrong. But I understand. I'm not going to go and bash on anybody's religion, because I don't have the power to really do that, and I don't have why would you? Because everybody has an opinion. You shouldn't bash on someone's opinion about something. Yeah. That's stupid. But I do not like the way people go out and I'm talking about teams that go out and think that everything's haunted. I go out there professionally. I go out there, do everything I can try to be skeptical about things and not try to go over exaggerate about, oh, something happened, but really didn't, and it was just really not big of a problem. I mean, like orbs. I remember you guys having a discussion about orbs. I mean, I don't really know what to expect about orbs because I mean you don't really know if they're if they're real spirit or spirit energy. But I mean, there's just a lot of stuff out there that we need to be need to be proven, and that's what ghost hunters do is they prove things, and that's the reason why you become a paranormal investigator.
Don't get me started on orbs because I'll argue all day with you about that. Orbs, some are orbs. I believe it's spirit energy.
Yeah.
But I can tell the difference between a spirit orb and a bug or dust.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not really that hard to tell.
No, but like you said, that's what we're out there for. We're trying to find answers. Everybody's trying to find answers, and everybody should stick together. And these teams that are trying to get rich off the field, thinking it's a career and not, it's a hobby for me. It's a hobby for most of us because we're into that kind of thing. But when people start getting greedy over it, it doesn't do anybody any good.
Oh yeah.
It causes backbiting and stuff like that. And
here's one more thing about the Bordello that I just want to say. I mean, for any of you that want to go out to the Bordello and investigate, if you have the money to spend $500 on it, go ahead because it is a really great place to investigate. I mean, the very first time I was out there, I mean, I had I seen things, I've heard things, but I mean, in all, that place is a really great place to investigate.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with you on that, but paying the $500 is giving them what they want. I mean, the place doesn't have a proven history for one. I mean, we all got caught up in the Bordello about the stories and everything, and we just went with it without actually doing any kind of research whatsoever on that house.
Yeah.
We just took everybody's word for it that the Steppenbecks owned it.
And I'm pretty sure you guys found out a lot of different things than what it said is what it is.
But when we started the petition online, we had no idea that it was going to end up causing this much
and chaos.
This much chaos. Because one of my Facebook posts, I was like, you know what? Maybe it would have been a good thing, maybe if they would have just bulldozed the damn house over and put it in the city dump, because now no local teams are welcome there unless they can pay the $500. I don't know what plans they have. I don't even know if Russell's even involved with it anymore. But they
turn it into a bed and breakfast, right?
No, it's not a bed and breakfast. They turned it into a museum.
Oh.
They've got period furniture in there. They've got a pipe organ in there, and they've got gaming tables set up in there with mannequins around it, making it look like people are gambling. They turned it into a museum, which really not a bad idea, but the price of admission is not for paranormal investigators that are just starting out, that don't have that kind of jack. They can't pay that.
Yeah.
They can't pay that.
I mean, okay.
I've been doing this for 3 years at Anglin. I still can't afford. I would never be able to afford something like that.
I agree with you. I mean, that's really stupid. And one thing is, I mean, if they're going to turn it into a museum, I could probably go ask the people at Baxter Museum, which Baxter has really rich history with Control coming in, raiding, and killing everybody. And this is the area, down at that museum is the area where they did the ratings and stuff. And I can go and ask those people at the museum if I can investigate that place for free, and that has better history than what the Bordellos has.
Yeah.
And they don't even.
And there's a lot of trigger objects in the Baxter Museum too. They've actually got Civil War uniforms there. They've got swords, everything that they have found from metal detecting and archaeological digs, stuff like that. They've got actual Civil War outfits in there. I mean, actual Civil War uniforms, and they will let you investigate for free in there, I bet, if you ask them. the Johnston Public Library sits on rich land. It was the old city jail back in the day, and the jail is still underneath it.
They even have free tours there during like whenever they have countdown days. I mean, I'm not gonna go back on the people who like are running the bordello, but I just think it's kind of ridiculous on how high it is. Because honestly, I mean, for me investigating it, I would not pay $500 to go investigate that place. I liked it. It was just like it's just way too much.
But anybody that can afford it, that can go
ahead. I mean, go
I
ahead.
would say do it because they may work out a deal with you, and let you in maybe for less. But the people that are like me, that tell them flat out, no, I'm not going to pay your $500. They won't let you in. They're not going to let us in because we refuse to pay the $500. That's just that simple. They want everybody to bend over and kiss their butt and be nice and just go along with the story, and I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. The Steppenbecks never lived in that house. We know that. But it's like I've always said, that doesn't mean they didn't run it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back when it was a bordello, they ran it. That's my opinion. They ran it, and after they got arrested for murder, the mining company, I believe, to keep their reputation intact, covered up the fact that they were there, that the Steppenbecks ran that house. But they've got witnesses that say that their fathers and their grandfathers down through the history have told them that was a Staffelback bordello. The Staffelbacks ran that bordello. And I don't know what to believe. So I don't know. I just don't know what to believe. I'm confused. I'm pissed at the same time because of the money. And we all got caught up in the hype. And I won't go there. I won't pay their $500. I won't do it. I mean that may sound hypocritical because I'm telling you guys if you have the money to go, but I don't have the money to go, and I wouldn't. Even if I did, I wouldn't. But you got to make up your own mind about that stuff. If I paid the $500 to go in there, I'd also have to pay the $500 that's going to take me to get a fucking divorce from my old lady because she's not going to like me spending the money to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's like going to a casino. I mean, you're wasting your money. I mean, it's a great place, but $500 just isn't gonna cut it. That's way too much.
Yeah. I mean, if they would lower the prices to where everybody could afford to go, But I won't pay $20 a person is too much for me. That's 20, 40, 60, 80. That's $100 for 5 people. That's $200 for 10 people. For $20. Well, they're charging $50 a person per investigator. That's $500 That's $500 for a team of 10 for the whole night in that house. And that house is too small for freaking 10 people. Seriously, am I right?
Yeah. I mean, it's...
You go in there with 10 people, you're not going to get a whole lot of evidence because they're not going to know who to listen to.
Three people, or actually 6 people should be really at max because, I mean, you're sitting there saying you have a 3-story building and I'm pretty sure the top of it, like the attic part, isn't even really finished yet. So you only have the 2 stories right there. I mean, 3 people in each story, that should be good enough.
Yeah.
1 to hold the camera and 2 people to do EVP and do thermal cam and stuff with. I mean, right there, that's good enough. I mean, so, but it's just I don't know. I mean, I've never really had to deal.
Now, let me ask you this question: Would you pay $300 if you had your own team? Would you pay $300 for an all-night investigation at the Olivia Apartments? Would you pay that?
$300. That's what, maybe $50.
Well, if you had 10 people, that's $30 a piece.
See, that's not that bad. But here's the thing. I'm gonna go back to whenever you said about how about the money and how much it is. Like, you understand is like, I'm pretty sure the people who own that house aren't there for the historic of it. They're only there because it's old enough and they know they can get a lot of money off of it, so they can get rich. I mean, honestly.
Are you talking about the Bordello?
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
Well, I know Brian Jordan, the owner. I don't know him personally. I've met him. I'm thinking that he's seeing dollar signs. That he really doesn't care whether that house is haunted or not.
Yeah,
and he doesn't really care.
He probably doesn't even think the house is haunted in the first place. He probably just thinks, oh well, I can get a lot of people attracted to this house.
Yeah, because it's on Route 66 and.
Yeah, I mean it has a lot of history, and I mean that's the thing though. Like whenever we're going to investigate, we don't want to investigate a place that needs a lot of money. I mean that's not even good. I mean, why would you want to investigate a place just for the money of it? I mean, we want to do it just for the history and get information and facts and get evidence and stuff. We're not there to spend a whole bunch of money on one little place that we can go to, like, I don't know, let's say like a club or something, and spend less money and then have
a rock
better
concert.
time. Yeah.
I'll give you even a better example. A rock concert. The most you'll probably pay for a rock concert ticket is what, about $40?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
you'll have much better
unless
fun
it's somebody
there.
that's like really big name, and they're gonna, and you get like front row seats in a big auditorium or a stadium. Maybe you'll pay $60, but an average concert ticket is $40 or under, and they want everybody to pay $50 a person to go into the Bordello when it's not even a proven history. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just a cash cow to them. They don't care about anybody else's findings.
Yeah.
If they cared about what I caught in that building, they would have interviewed me. They'd have set me down. And they would have asked me.
They didn't interview you.
I even offered to give them a CD with all my EVPs on it, and they actually refused it. Said that they weren't doing that. They were going to be doing interviews with locals. That's what they told me.
You're well, no, we're not.
No, locals, like over in Galena. Locals.
Yeah, but they did an interview with
PSL.
Yeah. And aren't you guys the one who got them in?
Yes, we are. We got them in. Me and Larry Forney got them in, and they didn't even know who to call to ask permission to go in. They thought that me and Larry owned the house when they got there. We were like, no, we don't own it. We just do the paranormal tours in there, and they're free for everybody. You don't have to pay. And boy, that was a mistake. I'm serious, that was a mistake. Now, before the house was even renovated, we were given free. I mean, no money. You come in there and stay as long as you want, and try to get as much evidence as you wanted, and for free. And now it's $500 because all they did was turn it into a modern day attraction. Is all it is.
Here's the thing: whenever I was a young kid, I always went by that house because, I mean, my grandma went back the old bridge out on Route 66, like that, like you're going out towards Joplin.
Oh, that old bridge that goes over, like up on a hill like that, and goes down over,
Yeah, like,
your grandma lived out there?
No, we used to go out that way to go to Joplin or go to State Line Road and stuff. And, like, I always thought that house was haunted because, like, I always thought, oh, wow, like, that's such an old house and stuff. I never knew the history of the house. I didn't know what the house was about. I thought maybe someone lived in it. And, like, everybody just kind
of... Well, they said somebody lived in it up until the late 80s.
Well, see, I wasn't even born in the 80s, so...
No, yeah.
But, yeah, like, I always thought someone lived in it, but I never knew that house would bring so much conflict between people. I mean, honestly, see... That's just wrong. That's what shows you how much society is just greedy, and like, I mean, honestly, we shouldn't. I mean, because money is a really good thing to have, but it brings the worst in people.
Yeah, it does. Money is the root of all evil. That's in the Bible. Money is the root of all evil, and I tell you, the paranormal field is getting evil. It's getting evil, not from the spirits, but from the dollar signs that people are seeing in their eyes. Anglin, thanks for being here, bud.
Well, thanks for having
And
me.
I'm gonna get with Josh. I'm gonna try to get him to come on here. And I've got Diego Hinkle lined up when he can get a free time. He's actually the president of MOSO now. Anybody that wants to come on and talk to me about anything is more than welcome. I'm gonna try to do this at least once a week, if not at least maybe every other day. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I still got a lot of work to do. Shooting these videos with the webcam is a pain in the ass. I need to think about getting camcorders set up and everything, and anyway, I'm gonna post this video up in the morning, and then we're gonna record again here in a little bit. We're gonna do
EVP,
Ghost Box session, and I was gonna ask you a question earlier about something, and I can't remember what I was gonna ask you. See, that's doing this off the cuff. No editing. Everything's just straight from here. Out there, and you forget things. And I refuse to write stuff down. I don't want to do that. I want this show to be as open and honest as possible. And if I forget a question, then I'll have you on some other time. When I remember it, I'll say, "Oh yeah, now I know what I got to ask him."
All right.
So yeah, this is Spirit Warriors News interview with Anglin Stroud from Absolute Paranormal. I'm gonna try to get his founder on here pretty soon, Josh, if he'll come on and sit down with me. Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna ask you now. I might as well ask him while I remembered it. What is the creepiest place where's the creepiest place you've ever investigated?
Okay.
In your honest opinion, what was the most paranormally active and the most creepiest place you ever investigated?
Okay, well, as I'm answering your question, I will bring this. I have a definition between a ghost hunter and a paranormal investigator. Okay, everybody says at the beginning that they're ghost hunters. They don't ever say they're paranormal investigators. So I kind of claim ghost hunters as unprofessional people who go out not even knowing history, just go out to random like local hotspots, like tourists who go out and go like just like around and like go to local hotspots and know they're haunted and go out with camcorders and stuff. I consider them as ghost hunters. But people who professionally do it, like us, who go actually have their own team, own equipment, like really good stuff, instead of using a camera phone or using like a phone such as that like has a like digital recording on it, like voice recording and stuff. Like instead of that, we actually have voice recorders, digital cameras, digital camcorders, and stuff like that. But I consider that as paranormal investigator, someone who actually does this for not really a living, but as a hobby, goes out every weekend, team, gets information, and does the stuff we do. But I'm going to say back whenever I was a ghost hunter, I went to the old boys' home here in town. The guy that
the Spring River Boys Home.
Over by the high school or by the middle school.
By the middle school, yeah.
Yeah, and I went in there because the guy that was not really a manager, but he was a bodyguard that made sure all the kids were in their beds and stuff. Like he lived in there because his house was getting fumigated and was getting torn down and stuff, so he had a place to live. So he had to live in there. Well, he let me live in there, or he let me stay in there one night. And while we were in there, we were walking down the hallway towards one of the bedrooms, and all of a sudden you hear these chains just rattling. Like you can hear them just rattle against the floor, and like they're being dragged. And we heard whistling as if someone was actually like dragging, I don't know, maybe somebody or something with a chain, whistling, walking down the hallway. Well, also, we went in the back room, and we tried bringing this dog in there. This room was creepy as crap. Like, it was insanely creepy. Like, we started hearing the TV going. Well, there's a TV in that room, and there's no electricity in there. There's nothing. It's pitch black. there was nothing. We started hearing noises and like music and stuff going on, and then like we tried bringing a dog in there. He would not go in there to save his life. He was barking at the like, yeah, he was barking at the door, and like he just would not go in there. We were wondering why. We tried bringing him in there. He just started growling at us and started growling at the door, and we were like, oh well, we better hurry up and get out. And then so we went inside the cafeteria, and there's supposedly a woman dressed in red that walks around in there. Well, I seen this mist form out of nowhere and just start kind of moving, and I was young, so I mean I could have been seeing things, but the guy seen it with me, so it's kind of two against.
Yeah, I've tried to get my team into that Spring River Boys Home, and the owner that has it now, he's turning it back into a nursing home.
Yeah.
And he won't let nobody in there. But Lauren Woodall, my friend from Moso Ghost Hunters, she came and picked me up one time when we went out, and when actually it was right before we were going to do our investigation at the asylum, and she came and picked me up. And we were out riding around. I was showing her some of the hot spots around here.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even go in that boys' home. We were at the stop sign across caddy corner across the street from it. And she was getting so many Lauren is a partial sensitive, and she was getting some strange vibes out of that building. And she was across the road, and she looked at me and said, "That place is haunted. That place is haunted." And she could feel it just from across the road.
And here's another thing.
They won't let nobody in there to hunt.
Yeah, and here's another thing I got. We were in this one room that has a piano in it. We started hearing music playing in the piano room, and we were like, I mean, this is the beginning of it. I mean, we also got voices in there. We had shadow figures. I mean, that place is a legit local spot just to go in.
What,
I mean,
the boys' home?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you could get in there, if somehow you can get in there
Nope.
with the...
Yeah, this question I was going to ask you, how true is it about that place, about when it was a boys' home, when they had all the boys there? They were troublemakers, thugs, just kids that just,
tried running away,
stuff like that. Did one of them actually get stabbed in that building and die? Or that's some stories that I've heard.
I've heard stories about that too. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't done history, I haven't looked up research on it yet. But I mean, honestly, you probably wouldn't be able to get anything unless you went out to Columbus and searched the history on it. Because Google won't do shit.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to cut this off now, and we went about almost 45 minutes now, and like I said, this is still a work in progress, but I had fun with Anglin. This is my first interview, and I'm stoked about it. It was cool.
Yeah, it's cool for me too.
I like to keep doing it, and I like to get other paranormal investigators on here. If you want me to interview you, and you want to give me an interview about your team, or hit me up on Facebook, and I'll come to you if you want me to. I mean, just as soon as I can get some transportation. My wife works nights, so I really don't have the car that much except for during the day, and most of you guys are working, so we're gonna do a little ghost hunt here in a little bit, so everybody stay tuned for that. I'm gonna shut this off now, and I thank Anglin for being here.
And thank you for having me on here. I enjoyed it.
Yep. All right. And we'd like to get Josh and some of his team on here. And anyway, well, this is Roger. Anglin, he tells it like it is. He's been that way since I've known him. And, he used to be on my team, but, he kind of went his own way, and I hope we don't have any hard feelings or any animosity towards one another. And that's just it. I'm a para unity. It's a must with me. It is. I can't hunt with nobody that has any animosity towards me or my team or anybody else. And
Yeah.
There's a team in Springfield that proved that to me. I'll never hunt with them, and that's just the bottom line. I've tried to be I try to be nice to people the best I can. I try to do things, you know. I try to do right,
Yeah.
and if they but I'll get along with anybody. Ask him. I'll get along with anybody. And well, anyway, this is Roger, and I'm gonna sign off. And I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. It was fun. So until the next time, peace out.